everybody down in Paradise.
All right, welcome back to the Coyote Curling Club. This is the Ed Werenich Golden Wrench Classic, presented to you by the Lodge Sasquatch Kitchen in Tempe. This is Daryl Horseman on the mic, joined in the booth with Kent Groh. Welcome, Kent.
Thank you, Daryl. I am so excited to be here.
How excited are you?
Oh, gosh. I really can't even put it into words, to tell you the truth. Yeah, my first time commentating a live sporting event.
Oh, that's exciting.
I consider myself a aspiring shitty curler and a semi-pro podcast host.
Wow. Well, maybe we
that's
can...
my resume.
Maybe we can shorten those gaps in my resume today.
Well, let's give it a shot.
Yeah, absolutely.
Give it a shot. So I will have a different perspective probably than others that you've had as your sidekick.
No, perfect.
I may ask some really dumb questions.
Well, I might give you some dumb answers.
Oh, that's perfect.
Yeah,
this is kind of the yin and yang thing here.
We'll be okay.
Perfect. Yeah.
Yeah. So we are in the semifinal action. This is a intra-provincial playdown right now with Lushinsky and Sturmey.
This is great. So let me ask you. I am also a really crappy sport gambler.
Okay.
So if you were handicapping this, what would be the plus minus? Let's say.
Ooh.
Would you give it? Would it be like a Sturmey -2? What does that look like to you?
Well, yeah, I guess that's a great question. Let me get some facts here. Like Sturmey went undefeated in their pool. Shusinski, 4-1. So
on paper.
Yeah, on paper, yeah. So both teams are pretty equal. Probably, the fan pool, the points bet would probably give Karsten the win.
Gotcha. That would be the odds-on favorite.
I think so. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And so, Shusinski, the boys had to beat Weeb this morning at 8 a.m.
Bit of an upset.
No, it was a close game. All the games this morning were very close. And then Sturmey, played a really good one against Dunham earlier to make it to the semis. So really good, really good. The other semifinal qualifier going on right now is Craig Koshin from Scottsdale, playing with Brent Pierce out of BC and a couple his buddies there from Whitehorse, going up against Reed Carruthers. Fun fact: if Reed can make it out of the semis, he should have enough CTRS points. That's sort of the Canadian ranking system to get a wild card spot in the Brier, the
Nice.
men's national championship in Canada.
Awesome.
So Koshin had to play against a tough game against Gauthier this morning to make it to the semis, and Carruthers and Schuster just finished up playing a really close game and went to extra ends, and that's how Carruthers and the crew got here. So should be a good game. So
Good.
We'll stick it here on the Alberta, interprovincial showdown, because the Sturmey guys are from Edmonton. Lushinsky's from Airdrie, which is closer to Calgary. So
these guys probably know each other pretty well.
yeah.
Know the tendencies.
Yes.
If there is such a thing.
Right.
I know my tendencies.
Yeah. Well, no,
Push
exactly
it.
right.
Push it.
Yeah.
Miss the broom.
So it looks here, you might have noticed this morning, doing the 8 o'clock draw, because sometimes, during pool play, teams sort of take it easy on each other. They, feel each other out, maybe have a couple blank hands before you kind of get rocks in play. But this morning, the guys came out swinging, and it looks like there's no, they're not scared of each other here, so they're
Yep.
Sturmey's got
Looking
the
to
hammer.
score here in the first end.
Yeah. So Sturmey's got the hammer, so they want to be getting their deuce out of this. guys are going to be trying to do their best to not let that happen. So nice hit and roll.
Yeah, really nice.
And with that red rock not being on the center line, and well, enough rocks have been thrown, they can clear that out. But we are playing the no tick here, so if it's on the center line,
Yep.
it can't be taken out and played into the sixth rock. So it's going to be just your run back double. Yeah, getting a report from our our runner reporter, the warm room is exceptionally full. And kind of a fun fact, I guess why the wrench is such a favorite tour stop for a lot of these players is that a lot of players have told me and others that they see more family when they come play the wrench, because half the family's here vacationing, or they're here on the the winter at their winter home, than some of the other tour stops. So the players like coming down here, because it's 70 degrees outside, or 18 Celsius, sunshine, you can get some golf in, wear some shorts,
Sure.
and then plus you get to see grandma, grandpa, and the aunts and cousins and stuff. So
It's
good.
definitely the best time of year to be in Arizona. No doubt about it. So anybody watching or listening, if you're thinking about coming out for next year's event, do not hesitate. Only problem is hotels are a little costly.
They are, getting so close to the Open,
Yep.
and Super Bowl right around the corner.
Yep.
So I'm not sure there's a port. Maybe Carson's seeing a port through there.
Sure looks that way.
Yeah, and again,
Not much.
these teams are so darn good. You think Iraq is safe, but if they can,
Right.
they can
Yeah, good
See it.
point. Good point. Because these guys, they shoot below 90%. It's kind of looked at as a not so great game, right? And club curling level, what do you, 50%? You have a really good game?
right. Like nice touch there. He played the curl, got the nice roll.
Yep, nice shot.
We do have the live scores on curlingzone.com, so we'll be giving you updates as well. What's happening on sheet B, and then the finals. I believe it's going to be 2:30. 2:30. Unfortunately for us, we're about 7 minutes from the airport, and a pretty direct
Right.
shot. So.
Yeah.
We can have the finals at finish up at 5. You still get on your 6:30 flight.
Sure. But man, what a grind for
Ah.
these guys, to win it today.
Yes.
3 hard-fought games.
Yes. Yeah. It's not for the faint of heart.
Yeah.
Yeah. Nice hit and roll there.
But they're all in good shape.
Yeah.
That's a really good, something to talk about is the importance of, physical fitness and nutrition.
It has really come far. When I first started, my parents, a lot of people thought it was just, we just smoked and drank, and there was, a lot of curling clubs, across the prairies were just, ashtrays everywhere and
Yep.
beer bottles everywhere, and certainly in the last probably 15 years, the last 10 for sure, physical fitness has really become a key component to curling. And to your point, it's a grind. You're playing 3 games today. That's a lot of squats and a lot of lunges and a lot of sweeping. Again, nice field weight shot there. Very nice.
Yep. Yeah, I was shocked when I walked in yesterday and saw, the Schuster crew. They're all like shells of themselves from the last time I saw them.
Right.
They're all down 20 pounds.
Yeah.
They look great.
Yeah.
So it's obviously they focused on that over the last year or so.
Yeah. Well, whenever we teach learner curls, we always kind of share some stats with the group that those who identify as a female burn anywhere from 600 to 800 calories, whereas anybody who identifies as a male, they burn anywhere from 1,000 to 1,200. So then you do walk about 3 miles in a game.
Yep. Yep. And I actually recently got a Apple Watch. One of the reasons was I wanted to track calorie burn.
Right.
And you nailed it. Every time I curl, I'm always on the front end. So
Yeah.
a lot of sweeping,
Yeah.
going back and forth. It's
Indeed.
always between 1,000 and 1,200 calories.
Oh.
Yep.
Great.
Yep. I'll go one step further. I mean, you look at these people, for the most part, that have been curling their entire life. I mean, they're just like, I don't know. It's like, I don't want to say they're ageless, but I look at people in our club. Peter Maxey, for
Right.
example.
Yeah.
How old is Peter? He's 80 something,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, 83.
Still getting down in the hack and throwing rocks. And I think curling is one of those sports that keeps you young.
Well,
mentally and physically.
And it's, I'm glad you said that because we did do a piece with PBS.
Really?
Came out and did a piece when we first opened up, and they've proven that curling helps keep the cognitive skills sharp, especially in the older curlers. So,
Yep.
it's a scientific fact.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Well, that's good to know because during COVID, when I wasn't curling, I could feel my IQ deteriorate. And then I got back to curling. It's like I'm smart again. I don't know how that happened.
Right. Another great shot. This is what the fourth board weight shot they made through that port. At this level, Kate, and I love watching these games because it's about who blinks first. They're so technically good and
Yep.
fit and the sweeping capabilities. And our ice, this whole week has been really good. It starts off about 14 and a half seconds. So long time be 24 and a half seconds, and it gets up to, it's been as quick as 15, 16 seconds for draws. So you're talking 25 or 26 seconds for a long time. So
Yep.
and with that kind of weight, with that speed, it's what we call kind of sweeper's ice. The sweepers can really hold it for line or curl it. So it's nice when you can
Yeah.
get yourself in and out of troubles or find your way through these ports
And know it's true, right?
with relative ease. Yeah.
So do they, the prep for the ice for an event like this, is it different than the regular club prep for like a Tuesday night league?
Probably. Well, I guess we try not to differentiate between, I don't say slam ice, but like a tour
Yeah.
prepped sheet versus league night. But they're. I guess the little extra thing we do is a little extra pebble, and then rock box to kind of break down the pebble early, just so it's fast immediately. And it seems to be the pebble's been holding up, because we do just a little bit of extra pebble, because these guys sweep so good and sweep so hard that
Right.
for Tuesday night league, you don't need to throw down as much pebble. There we go, trying to hit and roll out.
Yep.
Very good. Zip, nice blank end. Nice blank end.
Kudos to Becky for adjusting the camera angle.
Yeah.
I love that you can now see the scoreboard on the other end of the ice. Watching it
It
in the
was a
last
bit of a
couple
pet
days.
peeve. Yeah.
Yeah, I was like, what is the score? And it's like, unless the guys doing the commentating said
Say
it,
something.
it was hard to keep up with.
Yeah,
it.
no, for sure, it's nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. We want to again thank the Lodge, the Sasquatch Kitchen, for sponsoring this event. This is their third time with us, and we appreciate the partnership. And that's with Jared Allen and all of his crew here in Tempe.
Yep.
We also just want to bring to your attention, if you are in the area, if you're watching the stream and you're local, we do have a Try Curling, public learn to curl on 2-4. We also have another one on 311, which is good to come out as a single or with some friends, and we'll teach you how to curl. And then we have the Intro to Curling on 225, which is a 5-week series where it's instructional. The first week is kind of a learn to curl, or if you've already been to one, it's sort of
idea.
like a 2.0, and then we get you into the 4 weeks
Love it.
of curling. So you can find all those at coyotescurling.com.
So 2 things there.
Yeah.
First of all, the Lodge, amazing whiskey selection.
Yeah.
I was shocked when I went in there. So there's that.
And the
then-
food is great.
Everything's great.
Yes.
Yeah, I love it. I love
Yes.
it. Great place. The other thing is,
Yeah.
for those of you listening, watching, if you're looking for your next life-altering adventure, come to a Learn to Curl.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, it's life changing.
It really is. You meet a lot of great people.
Yeah.
I think you met somebody significant through curling.
Got married as a result of curling.
Well,
I don't know if it's good or bad, but so far so good.
So far so good. Yeah, no, that's awesome. Yeah.
That goes way back. That was back at the ice den.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, lovely Megan and I took a Learn to Curl.
That's right.
Right about the same time.
That's right.
Yeah. I believe you were the instructor, as a matter of fact.
Well, then you were doomed from the start.
That's why I call you the curling sensei. I have you in my phone as sensei.
Sensei.
It's hilarious. Yeah. Yeah. So between you and Chat GPT and Curling for Dummies,
You're set.
I am set.
Oh my goodness.
I have so many resources at my fingertips. It's crazy.
So with Aaron's group not having the hammer, they're trying to go for the steel. That's why they put up the center line guard. It is on the center, so with the no tick rule, you can't take that off and move that. And of course, Sturmey setting up the corner guard, trying to get their deuce. The other alternate, we have seen a lot of teams coming in on their first shot. I see Aaron asking for the come around.
And they want to keep that in front of the
T line.
The T line, yeah.
So you say, Sturmey's asking for the freeze.
Hardest shot in curling.
It is, yeah.
But
these guys seem to make it pretty darn regularly.
Yeah.
And really, they just finish throwing their LSDs and their draw weights always in their back pocket. So very, very makeable.
Saw is there some new trophies this year for the winners?
No, we
did something. I saw something on the Instagram page, maybe.
Yeah, we every year we get I don't know, we've got a 3-foot
wrench.
I don't even know what gauge it would be, but it's this huge wrench that we got powder coated, like a flecks of gold in it for the golden wrench.
Gotcha.
And that's what we do. What we do give to the players is a 16-inch wrench. That's powder coated as well.
Mini wrench.
That has the event year and name and logo on it, and it's pretty unique.
That's cool.
Yeah, it's pretty unique. So we like it.
Yep. In addition to the cash prizes.
Yes. Everybody in the quarters, everybody who qualified, will be taking a little bit of U.S. cash home with them today. So not only do you get great ice, good weather, golfing, nice nights out by the patio, by the pool, you can take home some cheddar.
Nice.
Checking a lot of boxes this weekend.
For sure.
So they left this one maybe just a touch high. Looks like they're trying to do something, maybe a nose hit, tap that back to the 4-foot. Over curling a bit. Unless they were doing the split.
Oh, maybe they were, right?
Yeah. Because if you're the Red Rocks right now, you're looking to force or steal. And if you're yellow, you're trying to go for your deuce.
These guys, one of the big differences, I would think, is because of their shot making ability, they're thinking 3 steps ahead.
Yeah.
Whereas, again, I'm going to compare it to a club level where you're thinking 1 shot at a time.
Can I get out of the hack?
Yeah, right.
Yeah, exactly.
But even as a skip at the club level, you just don't know.
Yeah.
It's a box of chocolates, basically.
And that's why they say, curling is like chess on ice, because you are trying to kind of outthink, outgame, outposition your opponent. And there's the first 4 shots are kind of like that opening, moves in chess.
Sure.
I'm going to move my pawn from here to here. I'm going to move my rook to here, and then you can win a lot of games with those first 4 opening moves. So same thing with curling.
Yep.
And then it gets a little messy, and then you got to sort of say, okay, well, statistically, what's my best odds for achieving whatever objective you're trying to go for.
Yep.
And we keep the ice shed a little cold. Ice hit and roll. Again, trying to trying to keep either the the steel or the force alive for Shusinski. Yeah, so it might be a little extra cold. You see Kyle Doering there; he's got his parka on and a jacket and a. Tom Stokes,
Tom's out there, yeah.
Our photographer. You wouldn't think we're in Arizona. You think we're in like northern Manitoba with these videos, but
Yeah. So how would you, like, if you were writing a job description for the lead, what would that look like?
wow. I'm sure the internet and the will have other ideas, I suppose. But if you have, speaking of that, if you're watching on the YouTube and you want to help answer Ken's question, please do. But I think the really the lead is really the person who sets up the end. Like whatever objective you're trying to go, whether it's a steal or you're trying to get the force. Or even the blank, those first two shots for the lead really set it up. There's an old quote in curling that says, leads don't win you the game, but they can sure lose you the game in a hurry. So again, those first four shots are so critical. It kind of sets up an end.
Jim?
Yeah, and I guess you bring up a good point. Like, everybody, a lot of the junior curlers, the newer curlers we have here, everybody wants to just race through the ranks and become a skip. But the game has really proven that, just like baseball, a lead, for example, like Madison, Wisconsin, they have a league there. You have 100 points to spend, and every position has a point value.
Okay.
And depending on how many years the player has played at said position, lead, second, third, so you could have a lead that's been playing for a lot of years who might be worth 40 points. You might have a skip that's been playing for a lot of years who might be worth 60 points.
Yep.
So you got to figure out where do you want to spend your money, and a lot of times, you'll see people spend a lot of their money, if you will, or their points trying to get a good lead.
Sure.
But these positions are so, I don't say they're specialized now.
Yep.
And everybody kind of has to play their part.
Yeah, I love that idea. That points idea.
Mm-hmm.
That's awesome.
Yeah. We looked at both.
Yeah.
We looked at doing it here a few times, but we're a little tentative on getting that rolling because the first time you do it, and I say, listen, Ken, I think you're worth 30 points. Well, just exactly right there what happened, right? Because you might say, no, bro, I'm clearly worth 50. So we didn't really want to hurt anybody's feelings because that certainly wasn't the intent. But
yeah.
So we're still just sort of playing around with that in our head because I think it'd be a fun thing to try.
Blast. Yeah, I love it. Great idea.
Yeah.
I mean, not everybody's cut out to be a skip. That takes us.
Yeah.
I mean, talk about that skill set or that job description.
Yes.
That's not for everybody.
No.
They may think it is, but
It's a lot of pressure. And it's pretty lonely. You're down at the far end of the sheet.
yeah. And just the mental part of that as well. Yeah. That's not for me.
So what do we got here? So certainly the force is on. Shusinski's got 3 in the house. Sturmey's got nothing really cooking yet as far as a clear path to the 2 points that they need. So
Reed came out of the gates. They're pretty hot. Putting up a 3.
Yeah, well, to your earlier point, these guys all played at 8 o'clock. So depending on how well they slept last night, plus again, there's only 2 games going out there, so the ice could be a little trickier than it was this morning when we had all 4 seats in use.
Mm-hmm.
So I apologize. We've got the colors not right here. Or no, we do. Yeah, we do. So Sturmey's trying to double out a couple reds here.
Yeah. Boom. Nice.
Nicely done, and makes he shot rock. And
Behind some cover
what's
there.
really good about that is that guard that they put out there is
Yep.
now coming to play.
For sure.
It looks like they think they can see it. Can you see it from the overhead? Yes, maybe it's just sticking out a little bit.
Yeah, I think so. That's true.
And if you're Aaron's group, you just want to make sure that Sturmey can only get one.
Yep. That would be a win.
Yeah.
For this end.
Yeah, huge. Yeah. And you see at the higher levels, some teams will actually just intentionally try to blank. If you have the hammer, you try to blank the first end, so that you have the hammer in the second. And of course, you want to have the hammer in all of the even ends.
Yeah, sure. In a perfect world.
Yeah. So looks like they're curling for line here a little bit. Now they're going for the curl. Do get around that guard.
Nice.
Great shot.
Jeez.
Great shot. Well executed.
It's amazing how the game, as it progresses, or the end, kind of shifts.
Oh.
Like it might start out on this side of the house, but by the end of the end, it's on this side of the house.
Right,
Yeah.
right. Yeah, it's pretty dynamic for sure.
And it's really interesting that a lot of people that like really become passionate about the sport are like very analytical type people. Like it seems like a lot of engineers, people that deal with numbers all day.
Yeah.
It is without question, very strategic, as you mentioned, and just the statistical analysis.
Yeah.
Like
Shot
you were
percentages. And,
coaching Megan's team last week, and it was really interesting to see tracking the shots and just the analytics and statistics that come out of these games.
and then you throw geometry on top of that,
Yeah.
as far as the angles and
Yep.
So important shot here. First of Skipper's 2 rocks. Trying to get frozen shot behind cover. So not a large landing spot. You can go around to 2.
It's open, right?
Yeah, they would have liked that to curl just another few inches to our right for sure.
Yeah, he's basically going to force him to make that shot again. Is when it's
Well,
probably going to happen.
yeah. With this here, Aaron can hit and roll. He can hit and stick. Hit and roll probably makes it a little harder on Sturmey, because you'll have to just draw the button.
Was Sturmey in your pool?
He was not. No, he was not.
Yeah.
Good shot. So this is just you hate to say textbook, but at this level, these guys make these kind of all day. So
Yeah.
just hit and stick, and Team Shelsinski did what they needed to do.
Sure.
Helm to 1.
Yep.
These are almost like the these nose hits are almost like the 1-2 foot putts in the PGA that
Right.
those guys practice those all the time.
Yeah.
Because when they're within 2 feet, they never want to miss a putt.
Sure.
So these ones here, you don't want to. You can hit and roll a little bit, but. Looks like you're sweeping for line. Nice upweight shot. Made sure take care of business. So they took one.
There we go.
Reset.
Blood has been drawn, right? seems like there's a lot more, going back to like, you coaching teams and stuff like that. It seems like there's a lot more tools available for like tracking, statistics and shot making and stuff like that. Technology. That's one way technology is making a difference.
Totally, totally, exactly right. Yeah, and well, just like anything, like baseball, kind of, like you think about Moneyball, curling is certainly from a coaching perspective. If you know your hits with your out turn, or you're only making those 50% of the time, and your interns you're making them 80% of the time. It really helps you kind of plan your practice. It kind of helps you with your gap analysis as a team.
Right.
Yeah. Because the more data you have, I don't think you could either. I really don't think you can overthink curling.
Sure.
From that perspective, because every drop of data really helps. Then you throw in the statistics, because like Jerry Gertz and a few others, they've done such a great job tracking, stats, wins, losses, teams that have that, have the hammer who score 2 in the first,
right,
have a 65%, 70% chance of winning.
Oh, wow.
Statistically. So
yeah.
You kind of layer that on as far as tendencies and stats, because numbers don't lie, right? Like,
no doubt.
So
yeah, that's why it's not in the States yet, but I know in Canada you can gamble on curling.
Yeah.
Like, was it PointsBet or
PointsBet?
PointsBet, yeah.
PointsBet.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, there's some question about how hopefully that doesn't change the game or because anytime you put money on something, it can lead to some problems. So hopefully curling can, with the integrity and the spirit of curling and the legacy that's curling, hopefully they can ward that off. But it'll be tempting to.
Oh gosh, yeah, for sure. I think it'll be really tempting, as a matter of fact, because it's not like these guys are getting paid millions of dollars to do this. Right. And, obviously ethics is a big part of the sport.
Right.
But everybody has a price.
Yeah, everybody's a price. Yeah, everybody's a price.
Yeah, but I suppose these odds makers, if they see somebody like drop $1 million on a curling bet, they're going to be like, hold on a second. Something doesn't smell right here,
So here, Shusinski wanted to kind of come around just a little bit deeper, kind of leaves it poking out. So nice hit and roll.
We were talking about the importance of the front end rocks.
Yes.
And, lots of times when you watch curling on TV, watch some of these, Grand Slam events, stuff like that, they'll break away for a commercial. They come back, like, after the front end rocks are thrown.
Right.
Which...
maddening.
Maddening. Yeah.
That's unfortunate, because that's.
They got pitfalls.
Well, it's like picking up a book and starting in like the 20th chapter.
That's a great analogy.
You don't know how you got there.
Right. Exactly. Yeah.
And if you're a parent of one of those players that are throwing the lead rock, you're like, hey, we want to see Johnny or Susie as well.
What's the earliest that kids can start curling? Is it like 5 years old? Is it 10 years old? What's realistic?
Well, a lot of us started, like I started when I was 7.
Wow.
But I think it's really between 5 and 7 years of age.
Crazy.
Back in the day, there was junior rocks,
yep.
which were 70% lighter than the granite rocks. But most of the kids nowadays, you give them a junior rock and they're like, no, this isn't what we see on TV here. This is what we don't see mom and dad or brother or sister play with. So we want to do the real rocks. So as long as you're the child's at least 45 pounds, they can get into it.
Gotcha.
And sometimes it's just fun, pushing a rock out if you're a 6-year-old and just pushing it out, sliding on your belly, getting it down there and trying to emulate your favorite curling star.
Yeah. Well, it's like Sean Tate. He's got 2 little boys, of course, and I think his oldest is kind of getting to that age where he can start doing just that.
Right. Yeah, and then I think it was Arnold Asham created actually a little Tykes broom.
Oh, really?
So the broom is half the size. It's made for
that's awesome.
For a preteen.
Great idea.
Kind of getting back to your early point as far as the importance of lead, the first 4 stones.
Yeah.
With Shusinski not coming around, trying to set up their deuce is tough. Because they want to try to get that rock in the house and try to get 3 or 4 more rocks in the house.
Right.
So they may be
change their approach maybe.
Yeah.
That, right.
Yeah.
Okay. That's not happening.
Right. Change gears, and then that's part of it too. You got to know when to bail.
That's huge, right? Because you even see it with logs at the club where people will try to make the same shot 3 times in a row.
Right.
It's like, come on.
It's not going to happen.
Yeah.
I guess the upside about this with the play is that they're certainly advancing the rocks out of the house. So maybe they might bring in not that you would want to maybe blank in the second end, but if you really wanted the deuce, playing for the blank and then making a decision at the end, well, maybe you just draw in for 1, score, tie it up. At least you've scored in the even end. So that would be a decision you have to make.
So keeping it ahead is what you're saying.
Well, yeah, I guess it depends what their team philosophy is.
Yeah.
Because if you have the chance of blanking or scoring 1 in the second, nice shot.
It's also interesting. One thing I noticed is, it seems like, and again, my perspective is from a club curler. A lot of club curlers, when it comes to a takeout, just feel like they have to chuck it down, right? And your room for error is so small,
right?
And unless you hit it right on the nose, you're going to lose it.
Yes,
right?
yes.
Whereas these guys, they're so controlled. Their takeout weight is so much lighter,
right?
And because even if they miss it just a little bit, more than likely that rock's going to stay in play.
Yes.
So it's
well, you certainly got to know the tolerances and
tolerances. Yep. There you go.
Yeah. And then with a nice clean release, I think newer curlers for sure really push it way too hard. And it's really that it's you see these guys' kick speed because everybody has that at this level, all pretty well have the same arm extension, and so they just really know how to drive out, and their balance is fabulous. And I think that's probably where a lot of newer curlers, their balance isn't as, they're I don't know. They always say there's the ABCs of curling, right? The alignment, balance, and the curl. But we always think it should be like BAC with balance being first.
Yeah.
So once you got good balance, the curling certainly becomes far more manageable.
Are there any ways to improve your balance if you're somebody who struggles with that?
Yeah, for sure. Doing Bosa ball exercises to kind of strengthen up your ankles and your calf muscles are really good. I like to, with both legs, try to just put a bunch of random, like a golf ball, racquetball, things of different diameter around my foot, and then just kind of lean down and pick them up all the way around, so I can figure out where my center of balance is and strengthen that up. Yeah, there's a lot of curling specific. There's a good book there. written by, I guess it's Johnny and Schmitty and I think Dean Gamal, but it's a Fit to Curl that has a lot of specific, curling-specific exercises in it.
Well, that's a whole nother topic that we could probably talk about for hours. It's just the physics side.
Yes.
The science, the physics, however you want to look at it. That is like, I'm I guess, an engineer, technically. So that is like so intriguing to me.
Yeah.
I love watching videos about that. And, just the momentum and how the center of balance changes, and so interesting.
Yeah. Well, if you ever want to have a fun night of curling and you're watching it, a streamed game, write down Newton's 7 laws, and curling uses all 7 of them.
Wow.
You can have a fun time saying, okay, check, check. And,
Yep. Is it like a drinking game?
it could be a drinking game. It could be, everybody has a cookie.
Oh.
Yeah. But yeah, probably having a.
Yeah.
Curling is social, so probably sticking with the, winter buys.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, probably having a cocktail while you're doing it's probably more fun.
Yeah.
So what do we got? We got the corner guard kind of rolled. You can sort of see Sturmey taking advantage of that. Being.
Go. Perfect. Can I make a comment about the Curling Zone website?
No.
Sachinski is hard.
Oh, okay. We're good, right?
I think everybody knows.
Should we leave?
We're good. Yeah. Just had a Matrix moment there where I thought the rock colors were switching.
It's been a long
My
weekend.
apologies. Yeah.
Long weekend.
It's been a bit long.
Getting a little cross-eyed. Okay.
A little cross-eyed, yeah. Yeah.
Well, they all look the same.
Yeah, they're all wearing parkas and stuff. You're like, It almost made me maybe to get everybody to wear hats and put like they have on the cop cars with the ambulance, like the number on the top. So you know who they are.
Yeah.
So,
It's something that's always been interesting to me, why some curlers have numbers.
well, that was an old, that was kind of an old WCT thing where you had to have numbers on.
Oh, you had to?
You had to.
Oh, really? Okay. Well, I've pretty much gotten away from that now, right? I mean, I don't...
Yeah, see, that's best, yeah. So, nice shot. Obviously, Shusinski's trying to score their deuce.
Oop, I'm happy with that.
Sturmey's got the shot rock right now. So Aaron's like, gosh, how do I get that yellow out of there? I'm curious to see if we have. Oh,
Can you get around?
Yeah, I don't think.
Not with much weight is the problem, right?
No, and this is
You have to move it.
this is his last rock, so you might see him do the angle run, but that's dangerous because he could if he doesn't get the angle quite right, he could be, maybe take his own out and give up 2.
Give up 2. Yep.
So looks like that's what they're looking
All
at.
right. Creative here. Yeah, it's pretty thin.
It is thin, but again, at this level, these gigs,
They don't really think twice about it.
no, and it looks like they're trying to hit it thin enough so they hit the redstone right at the 6 o'clock, like right at the south side of that,
Yeah.
so that potentially they can stick around for 2.
Oh,
Very close. Look at that.
Nice.
Stick around.
Nice.
So objects in motion will stay in motion.
Yep.
You can check that box.
Yep.
So really good attempt. Good try.
Yep.
They got their 1.
So shots like that, I mean, is that part of their practice routine? Like they'll just set rocks out there and they're just trying that?
Yeah, you might practice that, once a practice, like kind of like once a week kind of thing. But
Sure.
that's those low percentage shots.
Right.
You're kind of getting back to that golf analogy, like I don't know.
It's like a bunker shot.
Yeah, a bunker shot, or you're not playing from you're not intentionally going to go practice a shot from the bush, in golf.
Right.
Right. Like, so some is just situational.
Yep.
So some guys they do throw these crazy ones out there just so at a minimum when you find yourself and that's your only option,
Right.
you're not scared of it, and you've
Sure.
got some experience throwing it.
Yep.
And again, it's such a good team shot, right? Because you got the right line, right delivery, good sweeping. Like it's,
Right. And it's interesting that you mentioned golf. Like I think there's a lot of similarities, but between
Yes.
golf and curling.
Yes.
And
Yeah.
yeah.
Well,
It's
both
an
created-
individual sport. It's also a team sport.
Right.
It's almost like a scramble.
Yes.
You know what I mean? You guys are playing a scramble.
Yeah, that's exactly right. Yeah, so here we go again. So center line guard, of course, Shasitsky wants to steal. Sturmey's going to come around, and again, that's sort of, to your earlier point. This is where you set it up. This is where, your chance of getting 2 or a steal is really made in these first opening shots. Good thing they didn't tick that guard, or else that yellow would be coming out of play. But it's an easy game when you can do that, right?
So is it like even if they touched it and it was still on the center line,
That would be okay.
that's okay, right?
That would be okay.
If they moved it off the
Yes.
center line,
Yeah.
then
Then it goes back and the shot rock gets removed. Yeah. So here we should see, again, there's going to be a freeze attempt. Over on the other sheet with coaching against Carruthers, they got one in the second, so it's 3-1 for Carruthers after 2. Looks like they're sweeping hard for weight. Looks like it's close now. Probably see them start to pivot and start going for curl.
So would I be out of line by saying that coaching's kind of the Cinderella story of this group, correct?
Yes. Yeah. I kind of, it's been a while since Craig's played competitively. Really good curler, really talented curler. Curled out of Ontario for a lot of years. He's a good friend of the club. Brought down Brent Pierce from BC, who was just playing down in the BC men's play downs, and kind of wants to negotiate going. But Brent went to the Briar last year with his crew. Craig's also a Briar player.
Yeah.
Went with White Horse. And the other 2 players they have are from that dream team that went to the Briar. So
Wow.
certainly no shortage of talent. So
Sure.
and they are doing really well this weekend. So.
They'll be taking home a little bit of cheddar, as you said.
Yeah. Well,
for them.
Yeah. Well,
exciting.
they have to take care of their tabs at the Broken Brood Lounge. But yeah. But it was a tough field for sure. So, any team making it to the quarters this morning, did some really good work. Look at how good is that, right?
Nice.
You thought you had, a few good
awesome.
shots. Yeah, nothing safe out there.
Yeah. Start from scratch, right?
Well, no, yeah. So yeah. Sturmay's saying, well, let's just clear this.
That changes.
Really
their,
really makes it tough.
It's probably looking at
Just a
blank,
blank,
most
yeah.
likely at this point.
Yeah. And that's sort of knowing when to bail when it's just not going to happen.
Yep. Fun to see shots like that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, certainly, we see that at the Learner Curls with as much, curling that's being streamed now, and, good job for everybody who's a part of that. The curling knowledge that the average new curler brings to the game nowadays versus, 10 years ago
Sure.
is a lot. So you got some of these Learner Curls, or even like week 2 of a league game with a bunch of newer curlers.
Yeah.
They're trying to do these like run back doubles. You're like, what?
Yeah.
Like, where did you see that?
How did you even know about that?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, that's kind of like, again, going back to the golf comparison. At least for me, it's like I'm an average golfer and probably a below average curler, but even at golf, you have a really crappy round, but you make like really good shot. And you're like, you know what? If I put some time into this, I
could
might
be good.
be able to do this.
Right.
Same thing with curling.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly right. It was fun with curling, like obviously these guys have played against each other a lot, in Alberta. So while they're trying to, play as hard as they can against each other,
Yeah.
when everybody comes off the ice, you really see the camaraderie. You see that.
Oh, huge part of it. Yeah. Huge part of it. It's like a fraternity, That's across the board as far as the sport goes. It's like I've only been doing this off and on for 8 years, but just the people I've met over that period of time, some of the nicest people I've ever met.
Right. Yeah.
You mentioned to somebody you're a curler, and first of all, it's an amazing conversation starter. And second of all, if you come across somebody else, out in the wild who's a curler as well,
Right.
it's like
You got a
you're
best
instantly
friend.
best friends. Yeah, it's great.
Right. Yeah. So this here is going to be the next 6 shots. Should be fairly academic. Maybe the odd hit and roll, trying to change up the other team's line, see if they can get maybe a unforced error.
Yeah. See, now would be a good time to go to commercial.
Yes. Yeah.
It's pretty much a given what's going to happen.
Right. Yeah. So
In most cases.
roll the DeKalb fertilizer
Yeah.
reel and now. Yeah. Planning for your spring harvest? Yeah, get ready now with
Right.
or
The pasta brioni.
or pasta
commercial,
brioni. Yeah,
yeah.
exactly right. Yeah. Very nice.
Friend of mine in Australia
Okay.
just sent me a message because I told her that we were going to be doing this.
Oh.
She's like, I'm on the train to work
Okay.
watching curling
Oh my goodness.
in Australia.
Look at that, you influencer.
Who knew? So thanks to PETA
PETA.
for being our newest curling fan.
Thank you, PETA.
Yeah.
And they have curling in Australia.
They
Oh, yeah.
do, yeah. Yeah.
So why do you think, we've been talking for the last hour here, whatever, about how great a sport curling is for a plethora of reasons.
Yes.
Why, the $1,000,000 question,
Okay.
why isn't it more of a mainstream sport? I mean, I watch a lot of alternative sports like darts
Yes.
and lawn bowls
Yeah.
and cheese rolling.
Right.
And all of them have like tons of people watching and getting excited, and
Yeah.
I guess it's a $1,000,000 question.
That's a great question. Why is it more mainstream? I think probably in the U.S. Like you would think. Well, probably obviously the broadcast schedule. Trying to get the infrastructure set up, and probably the right partnership. Because the USCA had Curling Night in America for a number of years. Which sort of brought. It's funny. You walk into a restaurant or a pub, anywhere in the U.S. on Thursday nights, and you can watch some curling. I think we probably need to have maybe more events in the U.S. because in Canada, you got the slams and you got the playdowns, and you got the Briar and the Scotties, and you've got a lot of opportunity to maybe host or entice big names.
Sure.
To because it's not cheap to broadcast. So
That's part of it.
yeah,
Yeah, I almost think it's like, because I mean, like I said, go back to like when you're having a conversation with somebody and you mentioned your curler, it's like, oh my god, I love curling. I watch it. I mean, I can't
Yeah.
stop watching it.
Yeah.
What's on the Olympics? So
Yeah.
there's an interest there.
Yes.
It's just I think people watch it and they're like, no way in hell can I do that.
yeah.
They're like almost intimidated by the idea of having to, crouch down in the hack, and push
Right,
out, and,
right.
afraid that they're going to look like an idiot or
Yeah.
whatever. And I think that might be part of it as well.
Yeah, I think maybe there's an opportunity there, and I don't even know how you would do this, but there's so much stuff that's streaming now. If you had, if you're a restaurant owner or a bar or a sports bar, have like the Roku TV set up and start streaming
Yeah.
curling as another option. So you could
Sure.
do you could have your hockey and your baseball and your dart throwing, and then
Yep. Yeah. Yeah. And it's getting younger people involved.
Oh, for sure.
That's
yeah.
the biggest challenge.
Yeah.
Because, just about the war room, what's the average age of the person watching this event out there?
Well, fortunately,
Yeah.
most of them are the family members.
Yeah.
So probably what the average age is, about 40,
50?
50 out there. Yeah. But we are seeing a lot more younger teams get into.
Yeah.
So perfect blank, well done. I sort of got away talking. I apologize, but yeah, nice blank. They knew when to bail. They couldn't get either the steal or the two going, so both teams said, okay, you know what, we get you. So again, Sturmey is going to hold on to the hammer. So we should see here center line guard. Again, Shushinsky's going to try for the steal again. Yeah.
Update on the other game.
Yeah. So coaching against Carruthers. Looks like Carruthers did take 2 in the third, so they are leading 5-1 after 3.
Reed's a wily veteran. He's probably trying to close us out and get some rest.
Yeah. Go find some protein somewhere and
Yeah.
get ready for the. Yeah. Oh, they got to get it over. The great scrub.
I guard.
Great scrub. Yeah, well done.
So are there times that you want a higher guard like that? Like, I didn't see the call, but lots of times the guard is like right just outside the top of the house.
Yeah. Well, it's problematic when it's right in the middle. Like the Furby 4, kind of coined the numbering system, on the sheet. So between the hog
yeah.
line and the top of the house, that's 3 zones. So that rock and right where the bat is doing and the wrench logo is, that'd be like zone 2, if you will. And the problem now for the thrower for the lead is once you put that rock in the 2 spot, it's really tough to get it in the 3 spot. Whereas if you leave it either a 1, it's easier to get it to a 3 or vice versa.
Sure.
Kind of putting it right in the middle makes it a little tougher. Not impossible, just a little tougher.
It's nice.
Yeah, nice rock. So here the tolerance, he's going for the freeze for sure. He wouldn't be so upset with like a high 1 or a tight 3 if it happens to overcurl, but certainly freezing to it. It's always fun when teams at this caliber get a lot of rocks in play in the house, because then it just becomes angles.
Yep.
And sometimes you just can't wrap your head around all of the angles. So the risk there is you could give up, as many as you're trying to get.
Sure.
So looks like they're going for the weight. Looks like he's getting close. On and off. That's a good sign.
Nice.
Yeah, nice rock. Nice rock.
And the other thing, I mean, another, I guess, the physics part of it. You talk about like rocks and the drag effect. Again, club level. No, I don't think it has an effect. At least not on purpose.
Right.
But at this level, like, they're taking stuff like that into consideration.
Totally.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah, totally. Yeah. And it's all about sort of setting up the end and setting up, what is the skip going to have at the end? It'd be nice if your skip's just throwing a couple guards, because you've already got 2 locked.
Yeah.
But if not, you got to give yourself some path to be successful. So yeah, split the house. It's a pretty common strategy.
Yeah.
And you think just that last rock that was thrown for Shusinski, having it so close to that yellow, if you run back that red now, it's just an easy tap, and now you maybe have 2 reds in the house, or at least that red guard is now more usable. It's in a more dangerous position. Looks like that's what they're trying here.
Yep.
See if they can.
I don't think that was the intent.
Yeah. It looks like he probably just overcurled just a little bit. So good awareness there by the sweeper to kind of get that out of the path of that yellow that's in the 8-foot.
Yep. Yeah, that's another good point. I mean, lots of times the intended shot could change during the shot.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah, well, the shooter could do something, the ice could do something.
Yeah.
Yeah, it could pick up a little bit of fuzz. But certainly, I think, Carson here is seeing a bit of an opportunity. But with no guards, with that guard gone, so it looks like he's trying to, kind of revert back to the original style of 2 corner guards to protect the one he's got in the house. So,
Got it.
good throw. Can't quite tell from this angle if it's you can get to it with an out turn,
Yep.
but.
Yeah, these guys got to be careful here.
Yeah. Don't let the game get away from us, for sure.
Yeah, when points are at a premium like this game, things start to tighten up a little bit here.
We're on the back half of this game for sure. So let's see what Sturmey does here. They sort of say like the rocks that are in like the 3 zone, they're really close to the house but not in, or in that top 12 band right there where those 2 reds are. Those are sort of the control zone, because Aaron can use those to run back or
Gotcha.
Maybe get at those yellows. That's why.
Yeah.
Sturmey's saying, well, we need to limit the amount of usable rocks they have.
gets a really good point as well. It's like, as a newer curler, one thing to keep in mind is rocks behind the tee line are typically trouble.
Yes.
Keep it in front of the tee line.
Yeah.
At least keep it out there so it can be used.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, an old saying, rocks behind the tee line, you can't make them any better.
Yeah, exactly.
Good job. It's going to give Shashinsky an opportunity to, there you go, try to come around. Because now there's some rocks out front that he can hide behind, so. For weight.
Yep.
Good try. You got something you can use there for sure. They know that
Yep.
line now, so they make a small adjustment, and maybe you can just tap that back and split the house. If you're Sturmey, you typically want to leave the 4 foot open for your draw, but they do have the in-turn draw, the clockwise throw, to get to the pin for their deuce.
So we're typically, would you say, if you're a right-handed or a left-handed player, is one or the other typically your better shot? Like, are you?
Yeah.
How does that work?
Well.
Or more comfortable, I guess,
Yeah.
or something.
For either turn, for a right-handed player or a left-handed player, usually their in-turn, going into their body is typically the better of the
more
two.
More comfortable.
Yeah, just because of the kinesiology and the way your arm and your elbow is.
Yep.
A lot of even lefties and righties have a tendency, especially if you're newer, to kind of flare out your elbow.
Right.
Kind of pitch the rock out. So everybody likes their in-turn a lot better. Of course, there's exceptions to every rule, but that's. This is a message from Eddie. I'm going to try to get that playing.
Oh, really?
Yeah, maybe we can show it this broadcast or the next one.
Cool.
Yeah, Eddie couldn't be here, so he's watching now, and he's at home with Lenny, his wife.
Nice. How did he get the nickname the Wrench?
Well, he's a wily veteran. It really was just he was kind of a master tactician, and he would put the pressure on a team and just keep applying the pressure and applying the pressure and applying the pressure as like a wrench tightening a bolt.
Love it.
And that's how he got the wrench.
That's awesome. Any other good curling nicknames out there?
Well,
the Wrench. That's pretty good.
The Wrench.
That's a good one.
Matt Dunstone. He's called the Sheriff. Brad Jacobs, the Commissioner. Reed kind of goes as Ram or Rama.
Maybe we need more nicknames.
to sell the sizzle a bit.
Yeah.
Nice shot. Just went a little deeper than they would have liked, but
Big shot here.
yeah. So Carson's looking to split the house, and he wants to sort of back 8 so that if Aaron goes after it again, he still has room for a draw.
Hmm.
5 rocks to come, so 2 certainly on the table right now.
Yep.
And again, it's just maybe just a half shot here, half shot there. really kind of turn this in a little bit around. But there's still time for Shusinski to ruin, Sturmey's plant.
Deep.
Funny thing about curling, we just said 2 seconds ago that the two's in play,
Yep.
and now with this, you would have obviously liked that, a couple feet shorter, but it does maybe give Aaron some room to maneuver here a little. I think they are looking at maybe raising that red that came up just a bit short.
Yeah.
So
That shot loosened the wrench a little bit.
it did.
Yeah.
It did. Yeah. And they always say, a miss isn't a miss until. Oh, sorry. A miss isn't a miss if the other team doesn't make their next shot.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Well, like you were, scoring rocks when you were coaching Megan's team. That shot there, what would that last shot?
Probably a 2. Out of 4.
Sure.
It's in play. It is out counting at least one other red.
Still has some value.
It has
right?
some value, yeah.
There you go.
Nicely done.
Wow.
Great result. And that's tough too. You're trying to get the line, the weight.
Yep.
Arguably would Aaron like that to be
Right.
our side, north of the T line for sure. But that's a great result.
Do you think he would have still taken that shot if the last shot was a couple feet shorter?
I don't think so.
So that did, like missing that shot,
Yeah.
opened the door for him to take
Yeah.
that chance.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because he would have had to maybe play that, get that yellow and try to roll. Maybe not as deep. Because he's okay, he's okay giving Sturmey 1 here,
Right.
but looks like they're trying it again, and why not? Because here they have the chance because they are shot 1 and 3. So if they can angle back that red onto the yellow and be sitting 3, then the force is on. Oop, yeah, I'm sorry, they're running that yellow back onto the red. It's close. How good is that?
How nice was that?
Yeah.
That was awesome.
So
Great shot.
never play pool with these guys either. Like play a little 9-ball with
That's
them.
funny, yeah. Probably good at that naturally.
So there is a port. You see that port, the yellow left of center. Probably what they would be trying to go through. This is going to be a cool shot to watch because it has the port's not that big, and you have to get it, to our right once it passes that. So it's going to be a really a finesse shot.
Yeah. What is the objective here? What are they doing?
Oh, they got to get to draw down, get to be
freeze?
shot full. Yeah, freeze is
Freeze
good.
would be nice.
Yeah, at least full 4.
Yeah. Yeah, they can freeze up to it. Oof.
And somewhere where if Sturmey wants to have a run at it, he's got to think about killing his own yellow. It's close. It's really close. It's over curled. It is out counting the one in the back. So Sturmey's going to probably want to look at that because this could be worth 4. But he's got to navigate.
This is
Is
good
it
now,
worth
right?
it? Is it worth it? This takes some patience, because you don't want to be. You're probably licking your chops like, oh my gosh, I get 4
Right.
and blow this thing wide open. But also a 3 is just as good.
Sure.
When you're trading 1s, as you are. So, because it could jam at the back. It's just not a freebie. So, looks like he's playing the conservative move here. Is just play the draw. But Kyle's going back to look at it. Says, "Gosh, skipper, it's close." Looks like we have an update on the other sheet. Looks like Craig and crew took one in the 4, so it is now 5-2 for Carruthers. And they are now in the 5th end. Yeah. And these are sort of the fun ones. You've already got 2. These are the ones you practice all the time. Make sure you get it to the tee, throw it to the sweepers. You got to keep your heart rate, so you got to keep your adrenaline in check. And again, it's going to check up in time. Looks like it is, yeah. Very good.
Wow.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah, well done.
Opens the game up.
Yeah, and you see, kind of your point, that end kind of switched.
Yeah, for sure.
Lushinsky had an opportunity,
Yep.
and things weren't looking so good for
Yep.
Sturmey to get his deuce. But
What are some, like controlling the heart rate, that type thing? Especially it's hard, like, for me, like if I'm, sweep a rock and like your heart is just racing, and then it's your shot. And it's like, what are some practices? Obviously, like breathing exercises.
breathing is
obviously,
huge.
but,
It's huge.
and just kind of like, I guess, allowing your heart rate, give it a second
Yes.
to come back down before you take that next shot.
Yeah.
'Cause it's easy to jump in the hack and take the shot. And you're just all over the place.
Right.
because-
Right. Yeah, a lot of these guys do a lot of HIIT exercises, like CrossFit and things like that, explosive movements. So you have practice in breathing techniques in through the nose, out through the mouth.
Yep.
Calming yourself down. It's all about conditioning, and then also just playing as many games as you can, seeing these situations, just not being afraid of them, because you've been here before.
Right.
You kind of know what needs to happen.
And maintaining that focus. And I have to believe that meditation is probably something a lot of these guys probably practice.
Yeah, you really have to just focus in on your shot and really kind of put blinders on whatever's happening. Because sometimes when you're playing 4 sheets of ice, it's easy to kind of like look next door, see what's happening. You have to worry about, okay, I got to get this to the pin, I got to focus.
Right.
So,
Yeah.
It's a full house in the club today. Everybody came out to see, and again, thanks again to all the players and coaches and family that have come down, because for our newer curlers, seeing this level of like, we have a super league at the club, but this is like super duper.
Yeah.
Right.
No doubt.
So
Yeah.
it's really good that our newer curlers and even our experienced curlers
Yep.
get to see this level of play.
Yeah. And I mean, even some of the less experienced curlers that got to play in this event. I mean, what a massive opportunity.
Yeah. Well, for sure, steel sharpens steel, they say. So
Yeah.
it's very true with curling. So you can see here, and here's just kind of a shift in stats and whatnot. Sturmey goes in the house. Slushinsky's going to throw up the corner guard because he's got to go hard for 2. Now, be curious to see what he does on his next shot, because he could throw a corner guard on the other side.
Yep.
Or some teams elect to put one in, 2 guards on one side, or come in the house. There's sort of 3 options, so it'll be interesting to see what Aaron chooses for his next one.
So after that 3, Sturmey kind of does he go into like a defensive mode at that point?
Yes.
At this point in the game?
Yeah. But that's not a defensive move there. So yeah, and I guess that does come down to so typically you'd go defensive and just start hitting everything but some people I think there's probably some coaches out there that would agree, and even some players, you can you can play aggressive, make the switch. Now we're going to play defensive, and a lot of good teams have lost that way because you've changed exactly what got you to the point,
yeah.
right?
Yeah, it's like watching an NFL game.
Right.
Exactly.
Right. So just, maybe Stormy's thinking, you know what? Let's just keep playing the game we've been playing. Get our one, hold them to one, whatever it is, versus changing, doing a paradigm shift, if I could use that word.
Good one. Yep.
Nice shot. Yeah, nice shot. And I would suspect, since he's going to try to have as many rocks in play as possible. He's not going to go hard for a three-point end, but if it's there, I'm sure he's going to really appreciate it. So.
Definitely needs more than one here. That's for sure.
Yeah. If he can get his two here, he's right back in
Still
it.
in it.
And at this level, the hammer efficiency with these teams is incredible. And the hammer efficiency, for those who don't know, is just the percentage number of times that when you have the hammer, you're going to score 2 or more points. So. Nice rock by Sturmey there. Trying to choke off any ability for Wyszynski to get 2.
What's your opinion on 10 ends versus 8 ends?
I guess I'm torn. 10 end games, if you are not having your best game, 10 end is a lot of curling, and you play the game just a little differently. A lot of teams actually will just blank like the first 2 or 3, just so they've made a 10 end game. Now it's just an 8 end game,
Anyways,
and you can kind of go back to playing how you would normally play. Kind of like. A 10 end game is like NASCAR. The time you pit and the time you start hammering the gas changes. In a 10 end game. I think just from a player's perspective, certainly TV.
Right.
TV prefers an 8 end game.
Definitely. Attention spans.
Yeah. Exactly. They keep looking at that, the WCF and Curl Canada and USCA keep looking at that and getting, the players' input and just, statistically watching the games and,
What other, we talked about, analytical tools that are available. What other technologies or materials or whatever are having an effect on the game?
Technologies. Well, I suppose,
The rocks haven't changed.
Well, no.
Right?
Well, they have in the last 40 years.
Sure.
You look at some of those rocks from the 60s.
Yep.
So the probably the
broom.
the
really?
broom.
I mean, that's,
Because
What
the
else?
brooms. The footwear keeps evolving.
Footwear. Yep.
There's only so much you can change, right?
That's the beauty of the sport, though, too.
Yeah. And that's I think it's not so much technology that's changing the game. The players are so good, so there's the Moncton rule, which is now what we would call the 4 rock rule, and the players got so good, that they had to change the rules to make a 5 rock rule.
Right.
And then there was the centerline tick, that was started back in Winnipeg, and then Lisa Wego kind of made it brand name, with just ticking it off the line.
Yep.
And the players got so good at that, they had to change the rules to say, okay, now you can't tick now. Because if you were down 2 or you were down 1, and you've got no guards in play, the percentage of you trying to get that point was lost. So yeah.
So I guess my question would be why? I guess I don't say penalize, but somebody like that who can make that shot in her sleep, why take that away?
Well, yeah, and I think there probably comes to the economics. I'm sure, and people on the internet can probably back me up here, but if you see a team is down 1 or 2 points in the last end, and the guard that they put up gets ticked, and it's not on play anymore, you could probably hear the collective clicking off of TVs because they just know it's just I'm not gonna.
Yep.
So you think about like ad revenue. You talk about people watching curling. It just makes it more interesting for the fan. And the players too, because it's a sad feeling when you need 2 points or 1 point and you have no guards because somebody just got rid of it.
Yep.
Because you're like, oh my gosh, this is tough sledding now.
Yeah. What do you think the players collectively think about that particular rule? In favor of it, or?
Yeah, talking to some, the teams that find themselves, I think, down by 1 or down by 2, majority of the time, really like it. Yeah. I think, and again at this level, it's interesting to see how the game, has changed with the no tick rule. Because now you just do things a little differently up until the point you can hit.
What if they did it for like the first 4 ends, and then the last 4 ends you could go back to it?
Go back to that, yeah, that'd be interesting. It's cool how they kind of change or kind of look at these rule changes. I think the one thing they're looking at now is maybe if you to limit the amount of blank ends, if you blank it like they do in mixed doubles, to the 2-person discipline, you lose the hammer.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So they're thinking about
that's
doing
a
that here.
penalty that would make a difference.
Jeez. Yeah, because then that would force you to be aggressive and have rocks in play and either try to score.
Oh, look at that.
Great shot, cleans it up.
And sits 1-2.
Oh yay!
We got over there 6-2 on the other one still. Yep.
Yeah. 6-2 with Cochin and Carruthers. Carruthers leading. And the 6 will have an update here momentarily for that. So, Sturmey again is doing his best to not let Lushinsky and crew score. There's still that red guard that's up there by the wrench logo.
Don't lose sight of that.
That could come into play.
Sure.
Looks like they're trying to get the roll.
A little too far?
A little too far. In league play, you might think there's a bit of a jam situation there with that yellow that's just outside the rings, but at this level, it should be as simple as just hit and stick. And again, if they hit and stick here, it's going to give, just going to see the ability to maybe try it again, hit and roll again.
Is there anything being done in the sport that is utilizing like virtual reality or anything like that? Is there any application for that in the sport, do you think, at some point? Whether it be from a training perspective or...
Yeah. good question.
Obviously, a video game.
Yeah. Well, yeah, they got Wii and they got on the
Yeah.
Switch or whatever. Yeah, they got that.
Oh, yeah.
As far as virtual,
Or mixed reality of some sort.
yeah. Well, I'm sure like everything's going AI and everything's going
Yeah.
virtual. So I suspect that that's probably not too far in the future.
Yeah. Because I'm thinking, we talked about, scanning the ice house and creating a 3D model, a point
Right,
cloud 3D
right.
model. And that's just kind of like the start of
What could be?
a mixed reality of some
Right.
sort. Yeah.
Right. Oh, the Oculus.
Oculus, yeah.
Oculus,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I'm sure. Great shot.
Great shot.
Great shot.
That's hard to get rid of, right?
Yeah, because that yellow is going to be a bit of a catcher. So, that's the time you want to make and play that shot.
Sure.
Yeah, but I'm sure that there'll be times where you could go to your local warm room in the meta,
Oh, yeah.
and hang out with a bunch of
Yep.
avatars,
Yep. I love it.
So.
Curling in the metaverse. It's going to happen.
Yeah, it will for sure. For sure. It's kind of funny how you think back to AOL and all those early chat rooms and
Yeah.
stuff. Get your disc in under 3 hours, and now we've created a metaverse where it's just a bunch
That's
of other
awesome.
people, online people.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it looks like a big shot here. They want to get to just nose. They don't mind killing the yellow. That's a second shot. Ooh. Okay. I thought he was coming with a little bit more steam here. They're just coming down to it. They're saying, okay, we'll give you your.
They're going to let him go. They double those out, maybe.
Well, if you're Slushinsky, like
Okay.
you maybe corner freeze to that yellow that was just thrown. I don't know if you want to double them out right now.
Not yet. Yeah, I didn't realize he had two. Yep.
Yeah, but I think if you corner freeze and leave yourself something, because right now that yellow rock that's at the top of the four is helping Aaron out. So. Because if you're Sturmey, you're running back that yellow, right?
Yep.
Onto the red. So, knowing that, what do you do? I think there
Freezing up to it, like you said, that corner freeze.
isn't bad.
Again, taking away the angles.
Unless they're looking to just sort of tap it back to the right of that seems like. Let's see where it ends up here. They're off. Is it over curling? Maybe they wanted the guard, but it's still open enough that they could with board weight, barrier weight, kind of hit and roll and take the two. So yeah, so Sturmey's saying, okay, I see you.
Again, he's just gonna be happy giving him one.
Yes. Yeah, and so if he puts the rock there in that top 8, left of center.
Doesn't give him many options.
No. I wonder, can you get around that wrench logo with your intern and just sort of hit the crotch of that yellow and red? Well, no, you need to get. Yep, so that's not going to happen. I was thinking you could come around and try to get there, but that yellow rock that's in the top 4 is too good. So what their placement here is going to be huge because they don't want, if Slushinsky's going to do the kind of the run double, you want that shooter to be not out counted or they want that back yellow.
Oh yeah, right. Yep.
To be the counter. So
There's a big one here.
mm-hmm. Yeah, it's working as hard as you are. Yeah. We've tried a few different pieces of technology, and yeah, this poor fella needs.
Never get shut off.
Yeah, never shut off. So that's really good. They may have the opportunity to draw around that because it's potentially high enough for sure. Because all they got to do is get full 4.
From this angle, it looks like they should be able to do that.
Yeah.
Doesn't look like that's what they're planning on doing, though.
Is the port wide enough?
Looks like it is.
Yeah, I suppose if you come through that port and you hit that yellow that's on the 4-foot, on the left side of center, so just on the high side, and you click your red.
Yep. Don't
The
need
red
a ton of
the
weight.
red goes back to that yellow. Is there a possible 3 out of this?
Last rock. Right? Where's the 3 come in?
So this yellow goes to there and rolls out here. This goes here, and as this is coming by, it runs this red back to here.
Oh gosh.
Like,
Yeah, that'd be amazing.
like. Looks like
That way.
Looks like it's just trying to tap it out.
Nice.
What an excellent shot. Never a doubt, eh? Never a
Awesome.
doubt. Well done.
Awesome.
Well, that was a big end.
Great shot making.
Yeah, it's a skipper's deuce, they call that. So it'll be 4-3 after 6. Slushkinski can sigh a bit of relief.
Yep,
It's huge.
still in it.
It's huge. And you look at the line score. They blanked the first. Sturmey won in the second. Aaron won in the third. Blank in the 4. And then kind of a mistake. And then we got a 3 by Sturmey.
Yeah.
Now a 2.
Yep.
So that maybe the teams are figuring out the ice, starting to kind of
little more
break it
aggressive,
apart. Yeah, a
maybe.
little more aggressive. Yeah. Yeah.
It's getting good. I had a feeling this was going to be a good game.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, the further you go into the competition, the games get harder and harder and harder. Yeah. So if you're Slushkinski, steal or hold them to 1. And if you're Sturmey, you probably getting your 2 here would be huge. Two are blank, but 2 going up 6-3. Statistically not bad either. Coming in.
Went to Barrett Jackson last night.
Oh, I guess it is that
Yes.
season, right?
Yeah, it was awesome.
Did you buy the Ferrari you always wanted?
No. It was just like Saturday nights, like the big night to go. That's
Okay.
the big spenders are there.
Yeah.
And just so interesting being around all those people with so much
Disposable income.
Disposable income.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Was there any isn't like every year there's like one car you have to see, like the Batmobile or like the Scooby Doo van or
Scooby-Doo
something,
van,
like
yeah.
or the Ghostbuster?
Yeah,
like,
I mean there probably was. I mean I know they had like four cars where all the proceeds went to a charity of some sort.
Oh, we're a charity.
Yeah, well, yeah, maybe we look into that next year, right? Yeah. And this car, all proceeds go to the Coyotes curling
Yeah,
club.
there you go. I think it goes to Children's
It's
Hospital.
like a
something
rusted out Chevy pickup or something. Yeah. That's great. Yeah, that was a lot of fun. Again, another reason to come out this
Yes.
weekend.
Yeah. Lots to do.
So
lots
much
to
fun.
see.
Like these next 3 weeks, my liver's screwed.
Yeah.
With the Open, Super Bowl,
Yeah.
everything. Yeah.
I pulled this up, and I was going to talk about it earlier, but you started talking about statistics and analytics,
Yeah.
and kind of a shout out to the guys at the Rock Logic podcast.
Oh, nice.
If you want to kind of geek out on
Yeah.
information and stats, and it's a really good one
Rock
to
Logic, huh?
Rock Logic. Yeah, they do quite well. Yeah, good job.
There we go. Kevin Palmer,
Yeah.
I believe,
Yeah.
is the host of that one.
Yeah, Kevin and Jerry Gertz is on there quite a bit.
Okay.
And they got a lot of good data and a lot of things that just make you go,
Interesting. And I see they're proposing a new spin on the house.
right,
The square house.
right,
Kind of like that idea.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. And of course, not to be outdone by your podcast, the Geoholics.
Oh, yeah.
Which is like,
Can't miss that one.
yeah.
Well, interesting fact, Daryl, you and our good friend
Corey.
Corey were on episode 45 of the Geologics.
Yes, that was a fun.
That
one.
was a night.
That was
That was a night. I think I finished off a bottle of what was it, Mellow Corn whiskey or something?
Right,
Yeah,
right.
That was a good one.
Yeah.
We had Lance Steiner on too.
Oh, good. Yeah.
Back in November
that's
of
right.
21 when they were here. Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah. So
good.
a little curling spin on it.
So,
I always said, Daryl, you should do a curling podcast.
no, I got a face for radio, that's for sure. But let's see. The end's getting a little complicated.
Coach has got to do something here.
Yeah. Kind of interesting shot. Those staggered guards are going to be problematic. The staggered guards,
Yeah.
with that red-yellow locked, they're
A lot
they're
more
nobody's
rocks
friend.
to play now.
Yeah,
A
there's
lot more
nobody's
rocks to
friends.
play.
Yeah. Yeah. If you're Sturmey, you're thinking, okay, well, how do I get my deuce? And you don't want to. A lot of curlers get tricked into playing the other skip's game.
Yeah, get drawn into it.
Right.
Like fall into the trap.
That was almost like a curling joke. You got drawn into it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you got to kind of stick with your plan. So we can. Some science.
Go.
Oof.
How's the game as a whole doing? Like nationally, is it continuing to grow?
In the U.S.,
Yeah.
it's the fastest growing sport beside lacrosse.
I know Olympic years are always good for
Yeah.
the sport, but
But
that
curling
momentum continues.
it
sounds like.
does,
That's
yeah,
good.
for sure. Having John and the Steiner and Matt,
Yeah.
all the guys, winning the golden 18 was huge for the game in the U.S. Across Canada, it's the demographics are shifting from people playing to people watching. There's a lot of clubs are kind of dying, and so they're.
Do you think it's just a generational thing?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
For sure.
It seems like it would be.
Yeah. Well, for lots of rural parts of the U.S. and rural parts of Canada, it was, that the curling club was almost as important as the post office and the church, and that's where everybody went on Friday night or Saturday night or whatever.
Part of the community.
Yeah, exactly.
Look at this. Oh. Yeah. It's interesting you mentioned Schuster and the guys. When I came in yesterday, they still get so much attention. Everybody wants to shake their hand, get a picture taken. And this is 5 years later.
Right.
It's like pretty amazing the ripple effect that has had for them, not only in their curling careers, but their lives. And, I'm sure it changed everything.
Yeah. Well, once you're an Olympian, for sure. Tyler George is doing a lot of commentating now and going around the country talking to people and spreading the good word of curling that way. So for sure, it's life changing. Like remember Matt Hamilton he was playing in what was he playing in Pro-Am?
No golf.
Playing in a Pro-Am in Minnesota, and he pulled out his gold medal and used that as a ball marker.
Yeah. Genius.
Yeah.
Well, talk about a marketing genius. That guy. Jeez. He's run with that, and he was a big personality before it. Just fueled the fire.
And not to knock anything against them, because all those guys are great. But one meme that I keep remembering is where they're wearing the blue and white pants, and it said Team Schuster looks like four guys that went to Vegas for the weekend and ended up winning the gold medal.
Right.
And that really kind of just for the average person said, okay, again, nothing to take anything away from those guys, because they're healthy and they're fit, but they said, okay, well, I'm just an average schmuck working 9 to 5. Maybe I can go, kind of planted the seed of what if.
You never know. Just got to try.
Yeah, really cool.
And there is the senior level too.
Yes.
So it's
you can play this game well into your 90s for sure. And we do have an update now on Coach Shin and Carruthers. A big 3 was taken in the 6th end, so it's now 6-5. So again, they tightened that gap up.
2 really good games here. This is great.
Yeah. And that's what you like to see at this level, Again, all 4 teams have been playing good all week. They certainly deserve to be here. So.
So when you say hammer efficiency, is that just scoring with the hammer?
Yeah.
Whether it be 1, 2, or 3, doesn't matter.
Yeah. Well, no, it's got to be 2 or more.
2 or more. Okay, gotcha.
Well, I have to go back. I might have spoke too soon. Just scoring with the hammer is scoring efficiency.
Got it.
Yeah, my mistake.
You can hear the decibel level in the warm room going up a little bit.
Yeah. Well,
2 good games here.
Yeah. They probably thought the Carruthers coaching game was going to maybe be just a bit of a lock.
Yeah.
But it's good.
The Broken Broom Lounge is open.
Yeah, it's been a really good turnout. We've we're a 501c3 nonprofit, of course, and we're still proudly a member-run club. We don't have any paid positions. The bar, the lounge, the ice, all the stuff that we do. This is still all member-driven. So I certainly do appreciate everyone who's been supportive of the club this weekend, and can't say enough thank yous for that.
So if somebody wanted to make a contribution to the club, is it as simple as going to the website?
Yeah.
And you can make a donation there?
Yep. Yeah, exactly right. Yeah, with it being tax season, I suppose. Yeah, if you,
Not too late.
Not too late. Every dollar counts, especially when we're trying to, keep ice, in a desert, because we're still the most southernest club in the world. or sorry, in the U.S., and we are the only club in a desert, which is your atypical curling environment.
Create some unique challenges.
Yeah. So, like I said, we're trying to get around here. Guys are sweeping pretty hard. Let's see, we just checked up just a little bit. Just a little.
Time to
1:22.
big NFL day today.
Oh yeah, exactly right. Exactly right. There's probably a lot of people at home with one eyeball on this screen and one eyeball on their TV, right?
For sure.
Yeah, this is a lot of the conference finals, isn't it?
Mm-hmm. Yep. Some would say the best weekend of the year when it comes to NFL football. Because many times these games are better than the Super Bowl itself.
Right.
Imagine Jared Allen is probably at the lodge, drinking whiskey and watching football.
Yeah.
Sounds like a good place to be.
Yeah, just getting a text here. We've got 4 brand new curlers that have curled with us for maybe, 10 weeks? 10 weeks, 12 weeks maybe? They just went to their very first out-of-town bonspiel.
Really?
Yeah, and they won it.
No way!
Yeah.
No way!
Yeah, so
That is awesome.
congratulations to those guys for sure.
Was it a 5 and under thing? Or
No,
was it,
it was a straight up
No
spiel
way.
in Kansas City.
How cool is that? It's the barbecue spiel?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
There is a lot of fun.
Yeah. Good for them. So they're always going to remember that one.
Very cool.
So what do we got going on here? We got some 2 corner guards.
A lot of yellow.
Yeah.
Oh,
How do
there's
you get
that
pesky
one
red
red.
out there?
Yeah, it's hard to see.
Yeah, it is. Looks like they're trying to do the in-off, which the degree of difficulty, like it's a natural.
They can make that. Holy cow.
Yeah. But
Really.
there's still a couple rocks to go. But if they make that, there's another truism in curling. It's sometimes not about the shot that you can make. It's what you leave is more important. So if you make the double and you put your yellow half buried behind those 2 corners, now does that give Slushinsky an opportunity to draw in
Right.
and get position on you because you've kind of made. Well, I guess that shot's there anyway, I suppose.
Sure. Why wouldn't they? Would it be easier to run that yellow back into the red?
Well,
Would it be a more statistically speaking
Yeah, a
makeable
little bit
shot
easier.
and still accomplishing essentially the same thing?
yeah, but I think they're worried about the jam. If they don't get it quite right, that red could jam on the yellow,
Yep.
and then they're in a bit of a pickle. So this year, if it doesn't work out, less problematic.
Oh,
Well, and I guess I forgot. We forgot who was
yeah,
throwing.
Yeah.
We were talking.
I'm looking at that like, all right,
Yeah,
now it makes
yeah.
sense. Now it makes
Yeah.
sense.
Yeah, I might fire myself after this.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. These games certainly, we try to play these games in 2 hours. We intentionally don't use a clock, so we don't have any thinking time out there. But again, all these teams came a long way. They want to get it right, so the games do take a little longer than 2 hours. That's just the nature of it at this level.
Yeah. Well, and take into consideration what's on the line.
Right. You're right.
Last couple ends.
Nice shot. Looks like Slushinsky's still number 2. Shot 2.
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, it looks like they're going hard for a steal here. So they're going to try to draw down,
Go down
try
to
to
it.
and try to outcount.
Almost freeze up to it if they
Yeah,
could.
yeah, and then maybe kind of hope for a pick, or maybe Sturmey's a little heavy on his last one.
Mm-hmm.
Or light.
Yep.
Let's see here. Because again, if you're Aaron, you can give Sturmey 1 and you get the deuce. But the problem, I guess, the opportunity there is if
It's pretty good.
I think you probably want to.
It's a little much.
There you go. I think you still want to.
All right.
Yeah. You still, if you're Slushinsky, I think you want to steal here,
Yeah.
because you don't want to go into the 9. Because if you do it, give Sturmey 1, take your 2,
Yeah,
and
but-
in 8 you give Sturmey the hammer back in 9. So yeah, it's better just to get it kind of done here, if
Here's the
possible.
Last rock here, though.
Yeah. Yeah. It looks like
So-
they're.
Getting 2 here could really put the wrench on Sluchinsky.
Yes. Yeah. 2 will be. Calling for sweep. Getting around. You see, it's good.
Yep.
Great shot. 2, are they going to swing? No. So they agree it's. Yeah. Just 2 yellow. So this is going to be a great end coming up.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because the Sluchinsky ring, they got to go hard now for 3. 2's hard enough to get,
Right.
let alone 3. But you see a lot of great shots in this end.
So is this where they would just run them out of rocks?
If
The
you,
18?
yeah, if you're Sturmey, yeah. Anything in the house is going to be fair game. So it's going to be kind of to your earlier point, Kent. The Leeds rocks now
Yep.
are worth $1 million.
Sure. Yep.
So yeah.
Gotta get him on that center line, right?
Yeah.
Keep him out of the house.
Yeah. Yeah. At some point, the play is going to have to go to the center. So that's you got to sort of figure out when is the right time to go.
But out of the gate, though, they just got to keep him in play, right?
Yeah. Yeah. And knowing that, Sturmey's going to say, well, yeah, let's just bring it, put it around the pin.
Mm-hmm. Make him chase.
I really appreciate, Sturmey is just sticking with that same, because they've. So it might be a little late, but he hasn't changed his opening shot all game.
Oh, yeah.
The result's a little different, of course, but the intent was still there. So you see a corner card, because we know we need 2. So again, it would be interesting to see the setup, right? And if you go to the Rock Logic and listen to those guys, because if you get the 2 corner guards, I think they say statistically 3 can be in play, or you might go corner.
Gotcha.
Or,
yeah. So you're not on the center line now. You want to be
out to the wings a bit.
Yeah. all just getting hungry.
Yes. Yeah.
Her left, they're up. Yeah, this is going to get interesting.
Yes.
Kudos to Sean Aronson. He's done a great job this
Great
weekend.
job.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
It's a big commitment.
There was a lot of times when his commitment was on the spur of the moment. So,
Oh, yeah.
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 He says, I'm here to watch. Oh, well, can you?
Yeah. Yeah. Everyone's very willing to help out. That's what it takes. Oh, blank and 7 on the Carruthers game.
Yeah. Yeah. So they can keep the hammer home. Kind of keep the pressure on.
Nicely done.
Yeah. Now do you draw down? There we go.
I think Becky's going to be right on this one. The way it's shaping up. Might be a run them out of rocks scenario.
I just think it's a tough one right now.
But we'll see. Big shot here.
I like this.
I like it.
Got to get off that guard.
Oh, no.
It's
He just stuck around.
Yeah.
He shot. Might be shot 2.
Might be 2. Yep.
Maybe.
Give it a 2 on the scoring scale.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah. But that's
It's a 2 now.
yes.
But that could change.
Yes. In Alberta, this is the Donnie B. The Donnie B 3 is coming into play here. Donnie Bartlett used to put him in the back like that and always be able to get 3 points. So
Really? Oh, that was a strategy to go back.
yeah. Yeah.
pick the
Crazy.
ones out of the middle. By picking the ones out of the middle.
Well,
They put them in back and then they
yeah, and then kind of working your way back up toward the.
I forget.
Exactly.
That's the thing about the sport. There's only so much you can change. You know what I mean?
Right.
Somebody has a strategy like that goes against the grain,
Right.
but yet is successful.
So here we go, trying to
Get down to it.
There we go. Now you got to try to curl it, try to hide it.
I know
Great
still
shot.
a lot of people now when they're sweeping are turning the broom head like
Perpendicular, yeah. It's called knifing now.
knifing.
Yeah. Yeah, knifing, and this is really kind of lot of the top Canadian teams are doing this, but it really came, a hammy and lammy out of Scotland with Team Mowat. They've done some research, and nothing's quite been publicized or taken as gospel. But they find that if you're wanting to sweep for curl, knifing it, because the forward stroke is so much stronger than the back stroke, that you're sort of like kind of plowing
Sure.
the path that you want the rock to take. And if you want for speed, you keep your distance. You keep your rock. You keep your brush head parallel
Yeah.
or perpendicular.
I'm with you. Yeah.
Perpendicular to the broom.
Yeah. Interesting. You also see a lot of them like following behind the rock,
Yeah.
doing the snowplow thing.
Yeah.
in
Well, they
front
also
of the rock.
they also found that snow plowing
Yeah.
halfway down the sheet with just a heavy clean. Some people say it gets you an extra 2 extra feet
Oh, wow.
in distance versus sweeping with your brush head perpendicular, and it's not as taxing on the body. So,
So just putting your weight
just
on
body
it,
weight,
and then just moving,
Yeah.
not ever picking it up until you
right?
come on.
Yeah, like you're shoveling a driveway. Yeah. Just,
I'm sure it's probably been done, but like, do you think they've done something with like almost like a robot, releasing the same rock, the
Yes.
exact, and then
Yes.
the different sweeping and seeing what effect it actually has.
Yep. Yeah. Actually, in Morris, home of the DeKalb Super Spiel, that's the training center for Manitoba. They actually have a, to your point, a robotic rock chucker
Yeah.
that can give you the 4
Yeah.
rotations or 6 rotations or whatever you want.
That'd be so interesting to see that.
They've done all of that type of analysis.
Yeah.
They're sweeping.
That's cool. There's so many variables.
Yes.
That's the thing. I mean, there's no perfect condition really.
No. Well, when they do it in Morris, they can replicate slam ice with the speed and the curl,
Yeah.
so that the elite teams that go and practice there, when they have to go play the slam in Sudbury, Ontario, they pretty much know what's going to happen because the ice is going to be as good. That's what they're practicing on.
Yeah.
There's the sacrificial lamb. They're saying, we'll allow you to hit that yellow or that red if you want,
Yeah.
because you got to give them something to hit.
You almost have to hope for some sort of miss here
Yes.
at this point.
Yeah. Or jam or something like that. Have a Toyota timeout.
It's like a incredibly helpless feeling.
Well, yeah. When you're trying everything and you just sort of see it slipping by.
Yeah. See that ad that just popped up? I thought it was a Barrett Jackson ad.
Oh.
Because I'm like, it's listening to us.
Another guard. They're saying, okay, well, we're maybe a little lighter than they wanted. Now they're saying, okay, well, we'll come in.
Yeah. I mean, if they freeze up to that one, it's almost the
Right.
nail in the coffin, right?
Right. Yeah. And it's interesting, and this just kind of shows you the kind of the respect they have for each other. Because I'm sure a club curler would be tempted to just throw some sort of board weight, try to just hit that red out and call it a day. But they're like, no, we're gonna just negate those reds and just put something on the pin.
Yep.
That's pretty good.
All right.
Well, there's only
Still
three
open.
more or two. Well,
Yeah.
2 more rocks for Sluchinski. So
They can pull off this double though.
yeah, but where do they leave the? Yeah.
It's gonna make it interesting.
Yeah, you just don't want to leave that shooter somewhere where they can maybe Sturmey can use it against you and double you out as well.
Right.
But yeah, I guess at this point you've got to get the double, bring that back red rock into play if it's not already. It's gonna be steep. This will be a pretty quick out turn. It's steep.
Got it. Oh no. Oh well.
That's that sinking feeling.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep. So I think if you're Sturmey, you just throw a guard.
Yep. Make it as difficult as possible.
You don't need to be too cute. It's almost. Yeah, but if you're Sluchinski, how do you get 3 right now? Like,
Good question.
because if you hit anything up top,
Yeah, they're thinking this one through.
On the yellow background, and then the double the 2 reds out. Game
So now that high guard there is.
Oh, yeah.
yeah, you'd almost have to run that. You'd have to run that red guard. That's exactly right. You'd have to run that red straight back, try to double out those yellows. But does that yellow on the back 4 catch the back red? Just because the way those angles have to be. And you got to stick the
No, and he's got this shot
right.
that he's gonna have to contend with.
Right. Well,
It's gonna be a
glad I'm not throwing the last one.
yeah. It's gonna be fun to watch though.
Yo,
It's
absolutely.
gonna be a ESPN moment kind of shot.
Da-na-na, da-na-na. Here we go. That might be it.
Don't.
Yep, there we go. Good.
Yeah. Wow.
Good game.
Yeah, great game.
Well done.
Yep.
Yeah, well done.
Really good. Congrats.
Yeah. So that's
Sturmey.
Carson Sturmey moving on to the onto the finals. Let's see if we can jump in here.
It's over.
Yeah, we're on sheet A.
D.
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 Well, it looks like we just finished up there too. We'll have to get an update here momentarily. Thought we could get you a little bit of the Coach and Carruthers game, but looks like that's done as well.
Carruthers looks pretty happy.
All right, so we do have some confirmation that Carruthers Rink did take 1 in the 8th to win 7-5. So well done there. Good showing by all 4 teams, really. So that's going to put Reed Carruthers against Carson Sturmey in the Battle of the Desert.
Should be a good one.
You know, you thought Arizona was hot. Wait till you watch
Ooh.
this.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Nice.
It's going to be 2:30 is going to be the start time, so the guys have just enough to throw down a power bar or whatever, get a drink of water, and get right back out there. So,
Yeah.
thanks for watching. We will see you back in 40 minutes or so. Good curling.
fun. Thanks.
Good fun.